welcome everybody to the Brandon Bonanza show with my new theme song that I have. And before we get started with that, I'm going to go right into the quote before I forget. And today's quote: "We sometimes encounter people, even perfect strangers, who begin to interest us at first sight, somehow, suddenly, all at once, before a word has been spoken." And that's by Dostoevsky. All right. Welcome back, Quinton, aka Hobbit Bear, to the Brandon Bonanza show. And just so everybody knows, that was actually a song that Quinton sent. He made for me, and he sent so I can have a theme song for the Brandon Bonanza. So I'm really excited. So what's up, man? How's it going?
For shizzle, man. I had a good time hooking you up with some cool music.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I'm so excited about that. When you sent that to me, I didn't see it right away, and then I saw it. I was like, oh no, I gotta download this immediately. This is amazing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so what's been going on, man? What have you been up to since I talked to you last?
Can you see me right now?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering because I got the shades on, I thought like the big, like Big Daddy where he puts the shades on and nobody can see.
Oh, I could see you.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, man. I just been, I'm always doing something, so trying to stay busy. And I've got a new music video coming out New Year's, and when it gets wintertime and stuff, it's kind of everything's kind of crazy, but so I don't know. I mean, I've got a lot of songs that I'm writing still, in the process of writing, but I'm always doing something, man. Like that theme song. I was like, man, I gotta get something going with that, because I told you, like last time, I was like, man, I think I can hook you up with the theme song, and I put things on the back burner sometimes and don't get around to it. But it's always in my head, like I'm gonna really get with it, like I try to accomplish everything I possibly can.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have a lot of different things that I'm working on, and sometimes I put stuff on the back burner too. I'm the same way. Yeah. So you said you're debuting, or you're gonna release this song, your new video, on New Year's Eve, or is it New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, or when exactly?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I'm just gonna. Sometimes when I'm downloading it to YouTube, it takes a little while to upload, so it'll probably be right at midnight. I'm wanting to get it out there. You know, it's kind of it's a weird thing doing music videos, because I'm not really, I'm very DIY. I do pretty much everything myself. So it's a little bit, it takes a little bit more time that way, but also I don't have to like wait on anybody else, or like there's pros and cons is what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm excited because it's I messed around. I was in a band when I was like 14, 15, and we had an actual production team do a music video for my old band, Battle Cry. That was my old band. That's kind of where I got my recording studio idea from. It was Battle Cry Records. So that's kind of it. All kind of, I've been playing for many years in music, and I've just kind of started. I just kind of about 2018, 2019 was when I started kind of doing my own thing, kind of doing my solo stuff. And I think I've really progressed as a solo artist. I look back at some of the stuff I did a few years ago, and I'm like, you're always, as an artist, you're always trying to get better. And I can definitely see myself, not to like brag or anything, but because I am pretty humble about a lot of things. Because I started off as a drummer, and so like as a drummer, you have to be a team player. You've got to you've got to like you got to be the backbeat, so everybody else looks good. You know what I mean? So, but you get your you get kind of like your fundamentals from being a drummer, and it really progressed. It makes me like because I mean I love doing cool licks and hot licks on guitar, and but really the purpose of all of it is to have a good song, like something everybody can kind of relate with, kind of get behind, and like we can everybody can, like a lot of I like songs that I can relate with, it's like why if you can't relate with it, why even write it, so I and of course, like I have songs that I'm like I look back and like, yeah, I could have done better on or whatever, but I think that's part of the growing process.
Oh yeah, for sure. How long did it take you to put this video together that you're going to be releasing?
Well, I recorded. This is all going to be on. I'm actually doing this. This video will actually be on my 2024 album, Blood Red Moon. But this is kind of like introducing the album to people before it actually is available in physical form, like kind of like how they used to do it, like in MTV. Like I know we're kind of a long ways away from those times and everything, but like they used to like put out the music video and then they would sell the whole album. It was kind of like giving people a sample, whereas today it's kind of a weird playground because everybody's just getting on YouTube and getting songs free. So it's not necessarily that it's I care about people getting my music for free. I mean, I want everybody to it's gonna happen. Like everything as soon as somebody hears it on YouTube or something and it gets put out there, like everybody, it's fair game. Like everybody hears something for free. And
Oh
that's
yeah,
and that's
totally.
fine. That's fine. But it is. I like to give people like a personal connection to something. Like I've had people buy my albums and be like, they listen to it driving down the road. It's like I like to have that personal connection with people. Like I don't like necessarily like there's a lot of people on YouTube that's got like a billion views because they've kind of sold out to somebody, or something like that. Like I want my audience to be real and genuine, like I want people to connect with me, write to me and be like, man, that song really meant something to me, like and I like people to listen to my music for free. I don't really care about that so much, but I do like to give people like, a music video that I've worked hard on. And if somebody wanted to buy my album or something, it would mean a lot for their support from a support avenue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. Well, you just want your art to be seen, but you also, would like some credit if people can give it to you. It's like it's a fair exchange. You're giving them the currency of happiness and feeling good through your music, and then they're just giving you some currency through money or whatever. It's just a fair exchange. But yeah, you're totally
Yeah.
right. It's way different these days.
Well, and it's like Owen says, getting back to the physical, like, that's why money, like, that's why, like, when you talk about currency, like, when they're talking about like Bitcoin and stuff, like basically they don't that it doesn't by the time like money doesn't really matter at that point, like it's like at least with the dollar, there's like you said, there's a fair exchange. you know, whereas if it's digital, you know, it's, I mean, they could shut you down just because they don't like what you said that day, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
so it's like you got to really be, I mean, you got to really like take control of what is yours, you know, and what, I mean, none of it. Okay, it's hard. It's a hard to say because none of this is ours, really. I mean, so
Yeah.
if you want to
Good
get
point.
if you want to get technical about it, none of it is ours. But you get what I'm saying. Like you gotta, like it's what Owen says. Like I like the way he said it. Like if you can't protect it, you don't own it. You know, if you can't um,
Defend it.
defend it, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's very true. That's kind of how, if you think about music, it's kind of the same thing. It's more that you just want people who appreciate it. And it's the same way with my art as well, doing comedy or doing podcasts and stuff like that. You know, I feel the same way where I don't want to try to make everybody laugh. It would be nice, but I'm not going to change my message just to make more people laugh, you know, like
Yeah, yeah,
no.
man. And that's the way you got to. I mean, like you've got to pick your battles, of course. Like you don't want to just you don't want to just like um I don't know. You want to be real though. I mean, you don't want to sell out as and like, that's why I respect I think that's why the Bears are so because everybody's so honest and like, you know, they're not going to put on a fake persona to appease anybody, and I like that. I like being around people that are genuine.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's really cool. What else was I going to ask you about the music? So I don't know if we talked about this last time, but what made you want to not just be a drummer anymore? Because like, was there something that happened or whatever, or you just wanted to branch out?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm still a drummer. I'm not. I'm never. You never really quit, but
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm a drummer because I record all my stuff, and I mean, you got to have that. The drums really dictate kind of where you go in a song. Like, the time signature. If there's a time change, it takes you into it's a different layer of telling a story. Like you might have an extra beat that could make the whole song different. So it just, I mean, I really see all the instruments kind of uh, as one instrument, because they all complement each other. So I record all the stuff, and I record drums and all that. But I guess what made me want to like start singing and like writing my own songs was, I mean, I was playing bar shows, and I've got one of my guitar players. They've got a real successful band going right now, um, called Gravel Switch. They're really good, and I mean, but I just got tired of just like playing show after show, dragging my drums here, dragging. It's just like the load in, load out. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a beauty to it. Like, but like at the same time, like my main passion is just writing songs and the music part of it. I mean, that's what got me into it. I was a little kid and listening to Kiss or something, and seeing them, their stage show is pretty cool. But it's just the music is the main part for me. Like that's what really got me into music. And I like music videos and stuff like that too. I'm not really like I'm good at everything, but I'm not a master. Like
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah. Jack of all trades, master of none.
exactly. Yeah.
Nice. You want to play something for us?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll play you a song. Let's see. Figure out which one I want to play. I gotta get new strings.
Woodshop Bear was in here. He said the fact Hobbit Bear hasn't done a complete new score for the entire extended editions of Lord of the Rings is infuriating.
I wish I could do a soundtrack for the Lord of the Rings. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Snow White Bear says hi too in Robo Honky.
Who's that?
Snow White Bear is in the chat. She said hi, and so did Robo Honky. He's a listener
here. Howdy, I like that name.
Yeah, it's my favorite YouTube handle.
Robo Honky.
Yeah.
I should have tuned before I got on here.
No, that's all right.
Oh yeah, here's some. I'll do a little warm up. This is a, you know the band Jane's Addiction.
Oh yeah.
I just like warming up with this song. Jane said, I'm done with Sergio. They treat me like a rag doll. Da-da, da-da-da-da-da. That's okay, man. Da-da-da-da-da. I don't know all the words. But yeah, I gotta warm up. I had to warm up a little. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the one I want to play here. Let me look through my song list here.
It's a long list. So that's a long list.
Yeah, I've got a lot of songs. Let's see. All right, let's see. I gotta find the lyrics here.
No,
I
no
write
worries.
I write all the songs and I forget my own lyrics.
That's funny. That's something I would do. That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, when you write songs, like, I mean, if you're not playing them out all the time, you just kind of forget what you're doing sometimes. But let me see if I can remember it here. Let's see. All right, hold on. I'll have it here in a second. There it is. Okay, it's an F. I was trying to find the key where I was at. This song I wrote it's about, you know, losing somebody in your life and kind of coping with it. It's called Storm. I wrote it back in 2019. Check my vital signs to see that my heart's still beating. Look in the mirror, is this me? Catch my breath, feels like I'm suffocating. Look, I lost a part of me. Help me through this storm, Lord, give me shelter. Help me through this storm, Lord, give me something to make me feel again. I remember all the times you held my hand. You walked with me, you told me, don't be afraid. Let's see. Don't be afraid. There we go. I was just a kid, but the words, they always hit me when I needed them. Help me through the storm. Lord, give me something to make me feel again. Help me through this storm. Lord, give me shelter. Here comes the pain again. There we go.
Nice. Great job.
It's been a while since I played that one, so I had to figure out where I was at. Plus, I'm wearing shades; I can't see anything.
No, that was awesome.
I gotta take the shades off. I can't see what I'm doing.
Good idea.
I should have done that before I started playing.
No, that's all right.
You live, you learn.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Do you prefer acoustic or electric, or what do you think?
Man, I mean, I love electric, you know, because I love the guitar. I love just playing a mean solo, nasty solo, making a guitar face.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. You got to have the face, you know. You got. If you don't have the guitar face, you're not really even. Are you really even playing? You know.
No, exactly.
Say, look, you gotta go.
You have to practice that separately.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you've got to make people believe it, you know.
That's hilarious. Oh man. That's so awesome. So how many songs you said by 2024? You said you want to release the album? That's when you're doing it?
Well, 2024 is okay. The way I write songs, okay, I've got an album, a full-length album that I'm actually going to put out it's called Memory Lane, and it's going to be the full album will be available 2023. So but this music video is for the upcoming album that I'm going to be releasing in 2024. So like I kind of write in a year in advance, like because I still don't have all the full album together. I'm still writing, but I'm kind of giving myself to a whole year to kind of like fill out songs, and it's kind of like a time. That's kind of my goal is where I want it. I want to have it out. I want to have the Blood Red Moon album. I want to have it done and everything done by 2024. So that's kind of like my goal.
How long does it take you to write a full album, you think? And what's your process too? Do you just do, like one song at a time, or do you have certain songs that are similar and you have like a theme like that you're trying to tell with the album, like a story you're trying to tell?
Well, I've over the years I've gotten better at that. Like, some of my first albums, I was just I'm kind of writing, all over the place. Like, but from those albums, the old albums, I have a lot of influence of what's brought life to new albums. So it's kind of weird. It's like the more you write, the better you can explain in a song what you're trying to convey. And so, I mean, I wrote, one song, and one song led to another song, and so like if I can get a good flow, like, okay, how can I explain it? Memory Lane, the full length album that'll be out this year or 2023. That album, kind of had a concept of like, the whole concept was about me, putting away the past, like kind of like memory lane, walking down things that in my life, or it might be, somebody else that has been through hard times in their life, that, you just put away the past and move forward. It's kind of like, that's kind of where I was at, for that album. And this Blood Red Moon, this album seems to be more about it goes into like Blood Red Moon, the song, is kind of like, when you think of Blood Red Moon, you think the end of times, like you think of it's not really a doom and gloom album, but it's kind of like saying it's kind of like a warning, like you need to turn away. We need to turn away from how we're living. Like, okay, it's one of the lines is it says we can't go on this way under Blood Red Moon. So it's like, we can't go on fulfilling this, because I mean, of course, in the Bible it talks about, in the end of times the moon will be blood red, and that's kind of where I was going with. But so some songs are Memory Lane was more of a personal album. This Blood Red Moon's more of a just like looking at society as a collective, that kind of thing.
Oh, I like that. That's really nice. When's that
Yeah,
coming out?
the whole album.
Yeah, I mean the Memory Lane.
Oh, Memory Lane. I'm gonna release that early, in a little bit after I release the music, my first music video. So it'll all be happening in January of 2023.
Oh, nice. So how long did it take you to finish Memory Lane when you started?
Well, I started writing, like it usually takes me about a year, if everything goes accordingly. Like I can kind of pace myself out, and kind of like, I'm not like rushing to get it done, but at the same time I'm kind of like, I've kind of got concepts in my head that I wrote down, and it's like, because you can't rush a song, you've got to. I mean, if it don't, you can rush a song, and you can like I mean, anybody can write a pop country song or, anything that's on the radio. I mean, but if that's your goal, you can write 20,000 of those, that say the same thing, but that's not my goal. I want people to like hear the words I'm actually writing and like get a deeper, you know, something better, something. I want my stuff to be more than just like I went to the bar and then I came home and I shot my dog or I don't know. I mean, I don't want I want people to like really hear what I'm saying because I wrote. There's another song that I already released on YouTube. It's called "Lord of the Flies," and it kind of relate. I mean, honestly, I credit a lot of the songs I've written uh, to the Bears, man, because I really, it's really helped me as a songwriter kind of convey some things like, I call my very my one of my the one that probably my favorite album and most known is the Awoken album. So I've kind of went with that. That's kind of been my theme, like, Quinton Ferrell and the Awoken. So it's kind of like that's what I kind of call my fans the Awoken, you know what I mean? Like,
Nice.
People that can kind of like, communicate like you and I, like just have a good conversation um and really have something to say. Like everything out now, I mean, it just has no substance to it. Like it's just like um, you know, I mean, nobody talks anymore. You know what I mean? It's kind of a sad. I mean, it's not sad because we're having a great time. The Bears are the Bears are crushing. We're the only ones that have any sense anymore.
Yeah, tell me
Everybody
about
else is kind of in la la land. So.
it. Yeah. Yeah, no, dude, 100%, man. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I think that's great. So how many albums do you have then?
Sure. Well, I think, let's see, I've got like a total of probably, um, I want to say about eight, probably eight. There's some album. I mean, I've been writing you know, for a long time, but I haven't really got like, okay, like I feel like some of the first albums were kind of like me growing. It's like some songs that you know, like they're still good, but they weren't where I wanted them to be. It's kind of like I think I don't not and a lot of them weren't necessarily not necessarily throwaway songs or anything, but like there was some songs that you know, but they were really good in some areas, but um, I like all the stuff I've done. I mean, I'm not gonna say I've really wrote. I don't think I've ever wrote a bad song, but there's songs that I feel like I've gotten better. You know what I mean? Like I can definitely like from the Awoken album on is probably my best. If you want to hear what I'm all about, I would say try to get buy the Awoken album and then go on and buy um, uh, a social disorder. That's a good album. It's got a song called 24-Hour Shit Show. It's kind of like that song's about like watching the news and just all the bullshit they tell you. It's kind of like it's like 24 hours of just blah 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 diarrhea of the mouth, from
Yeah, tell me.
reporters.
That's funny. You have any songs you want to play from that album or anything?
Oh man, they're not really acoustic, man. I
Oh,
mean,
all
there's
right.
yeah, I mean they're really heavy. I can, I mean like, I mean it's I can play them, but they don't really have the. It's like Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I see. Yeah, it's just hard to do that because it's like it's really low. It's like 24-hour show. 24-hour show. It's like, it's got a really, it's really heavy. It don't sound. It's so ugly that it don't sound good on acoustic.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I like it though. I like the lyrics though, or in the vocals. Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's definitely more of a metal. Like all my stuff is pretty metal. I would consider because my influences are, from Queen's Rock to Alice in Chains. Those kind of bands really formed. My music taste. So and Skid Row.
Yeah.
Now, am I backwards on the screen? Is that my phone?
No, it's right. It's right. I had to
Okay.
look again. Yeah.
Yeah, because Instagram, every time I go live on Instagram, it flips me, and I'm like, and it's all backwards and shit. It messes
It
with my
says
head a little.
war dicks. No. That's what it would say backwards. That's funny. So is the Awoken album when you first started kind of waking up to this shit that was going on? And is that when you started to change your music, or was it before that?
Man, yeah, I really think about, when all this stuff was happening, like everybody was kind of, in a weird way, like, it's like everybody it's almost like music had really suffered because all these artists had pretty much sold out to they didn't really have they don't really, and it's not just the music, but I like, it was weird, man, because like everybody is kind of like in this doom state, but at the same time, me being an artist, I was like, okay, well, this is kind of normal. Like, this is what artists do. We take ugly things and make it beautiful, or we do, or we make, we make some sense out of something that doesn't make sense, and like, so it's like, it was perfect. It was kind of like, it was very doom, a very doom kind of time, but it was a good time to write, and it's a good time to create because, that's, I mean, it's like, like what they say, you gotta have some coal to make a diamond, so I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, you gotta, everybody's gonna have hard times, man. We just gotta pull through together and and shut out all the nonsense, man. I mean, like, people get glued to the TV, and it's just like their brain turns the pudding.
Oh yeah, that's the worst, man. Well, I was talking about this earlier because we recorded with Brother Nature Bear for Oversharing. So that'll be out tomorrow night, everybody. And we were talking about that stuff where it's like you either find a purpose and a mission and something to do, or somebody will find one for you. And a lot of people is just watching TV. It's like they just watch it all the time. Yeah, it's crazy, man. So what year was that when you woke up to a lot of this stuff? What do you think it was? Do you remember?
Probably 2019. I mean, was really like, I mean, I guess it's just like, I had really not, up until 2019. I mean, I really didn't have like, I mean, I was kind of just like everybody else, I mean, I didn't really think too much about things. But it's just like with all this stuff happening, it's like it's pretty obvious. Like when you look at the world right now, it's like, people are just they're looking for, somebody to go to. It's like if you don't lead your kids, or if you don't lead, if people don't have a leader in their life, where are they going to go? They're going to go to the TV. I mean, you can't blame everything like on the TV if you haven't done your job as a you know as a parent, or I mean, I feel like a lot of things are can be really solved in the home. It's like just like keep your kids away from the. I mean, I'll try to find a movie sometimes, and I'm like, this is just all garbage, man. Like all the way down the line. There's not like a wholesome movie that just, and it's the same way with music. It's all garbage, man. And it kind of makes me mad, but I mean, but that's another, I got to work on that. You got to control you got to control your emotions. So I feel like that's a good way for me to do that, is like through music. I can do that. I can be as angry as I want to without, like, it's a beautiful freedom to have, to say certain things, but you don't want to add to the problem. That's my main thing. I want people to get better when they hear my music. I want them to feel better, or take away positivity. you know.
Yeah, I think that's important because that goes along with a lot of the music that when we were growing up, we thought this music was like woke, like Rage Against the Machine, but it's just more about like rage squirting than it actually is about like solutions or feeling good or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, they're just lubing up the machine. Is pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Lubing up the machine. Oh man,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah. I
steal.
mean, yeah. I mean, and like, I mean, being angry doesn't really solve anything. It's like, that's why, when you're young, you think anger is the answer, and it's not. It's like, just being angry doesn't make you happy. So
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can use the anger to motivate you to do something positive and make a change in your own life. It's like you can't change the world, everybody. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. So
yeah, dude.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man, I really do like that. I like that passage that you brought up at the beginning, man. That was pretty cool. Like, I really feel like people meet each other like the Bears. I mean, everybody just clicks, man. It's like I've never been part of a community that just everybody's just kind of on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think that the people have their priorities in pretty good order, and it's funny that Owen Benjamin's a tent pole and he's the one that he just slaughters sacred cows, but I've seen that no matter who he goes after, even if people in the community, most of them, like, say he's going after the Catholics or whatever, and they're Catholics, they just laugh. You know what I mean? Like they that's what I like about it. Everybody is can't, they could engage in ball busting. It shows that they're good people because they don't have these insecurities. They don't have to worry about what people think about them. They know that they're good people. So yeah, it's a good time. I love going to
Yeah,
meetups.
yeah, and I mean, you got it, and he says stuff that it's like, um, it might be controversial, but it's true. Like everything he says, it's like, Paul, like the Paul thing. I mean, Paul was a really bad guy. And I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, he's not like saying anything the Bible doesn't tell everybody. I
Yeah, and the
mean,
other thing is the truth doesn't need to be defended. So if you are a Paul guy and you really are into Paul, then you don't have to worry because if it's true, then it's true. So
exactly. It's like I feel like a lot of people get this, like we as people, we think we really have control when we really don't. It's just like what you just said there, like, um, it doesn't really matter if we believe in God. I believe that God is God no matter what we believe. You know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of like, yeah, like you said, the truth, and God is the truth, like it doesn't need defending. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And I think Owen even talked about this recently. He's like, if you feel like you need to defend something or if you get offended by it, he's like, what does that say about you? He's like, that's because of some trauma, you know? Um, yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, yeah, man. And it's it doesn't it's like um it does no good to, like, I don't get why people would be mad if somebody has um a differing opinion. you know uh I guess, I just um I grew up, pretty, I mean, pretty modest, like, I mean, I grew up, growing barefooted. I mean, I'm a hillbilly all the way. Walk barefooted, and uh, just do stupid stuff. And have a good time. I make fun out of whatever I can. So
Yeah, I think what happens is people if they have a strong belief, they might not believe it. They're just trying to convince themselves they do. So when they're attacking somebody like Owen, they're actually really trying to justify to themselves if it's real, because if it's like, well, if it's not real to you, then it's not real. It's just, I think it just comes from being insecure about something.
yeah, yeah. I mean, um, it's just like, yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that. And you don't really have, yeah, like you said, you don't have to. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. It never. We can try to pretend that things change, but the truth always. That's why it says the truth will set you free. I mean, it really will. Like, I mean, there's these made up man laws that we think that matter to us, but they don't really matter. It's like, things, we live and we die, and it's just God. That's just the process. God's process, and
Yeah,
we
100%.
and we just make the best of what we have while we're here, and we love our neighbor, and we're friendly to each other, and that's all we can do. That's the only choice we really have is to wake up with gratitude, a smile on our face, and say thank you that I'm here.
Yeah, man, 100%. Gratitude is huge. We talked about that earlier too when I was recording. And, it's a good way to wrap up the year just to be with the things you're thankful for. And, another part of gratitude is when things happen to you that you might not be happy about or you didn't expect or you didn't want to happen, but to still be grateful when those things happen, like Job kind of stuff. I think that's really where you start to learn how to exist in this realm. Things really start to change. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, that song that I played, man. It's like, these songs I write to cope with a lot of things. That this existence can be tough on people. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. Like, you can't be like, you can't say everything's always great, but at the same time, you don't, you know it does no good to you know to always live in that place um you know of doom and gloom. I mean, it does no good, and it does no good. It does people around you no good, it's just no good to live like, I mean, you gotta live, and be kind to people, and it's like, that song I wrote, was kind of me coping with, a loved one that passed away. It's just part of life, man. I mean, that's just part of it. And, I mean, it's just the way it is. And you gotta be thankful that you were around the people that you're around while you could be, and you gotta appreciate. You can't get mad. I mean, you can't get mad at the way, God made things to be that way, and and maybe in another realm, that stuff won't really matter, but here in the physical realm, everything physical really does matter to us. It's like we love our friends, and it's cool, it's a blessing to be alive. But you just got to you got to be thankful for it, while you have it, because it's not always going to be there.
Yeah, that's true. That's such a good lesson. People, we always want to get on to the next thing and get through what we're doing and get done. And then we look back and we realize the time where we were going through the stuff is like some of the best times ever. We just kind of rush through it. And I see a lot of people doing that with their life. They kind of just rush through from one thing to another. And, maybe one day they'll be awoken like us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's like, it's just, I think awoken really just means being real, being able to talk a real talk. It's like you get these people that are always on TV trying to sell you something. It's like you just want somebody real to talk to sometimes. It's just like you want to break away from that, just constantly, getting either somebody selling you something or wanting you to take a new pill, or it's like just be a normal person, be just be kind to other people, and it's pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you would think it is, but with all these distractions and everything, all these sense pleasures people, get stuck in for lifetimes or whatever it is. But I was talking about this earlier too. I think the world being the way it is actually a blessing, because it gives us some resistance. Like you were saying earlier with the diamond and the coal and stuff, you need pressure, you need resistance. So it's kind of like it's out there for us to experience and to overcome, to make ourselves better. So, in the TV and all that stuff, as crazy as it is, it's all part of it. I think it just has to get worse for people to start waking up more, maybe. But, I don't know. Maybe it just always goes on like this. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I feel like regardless, it's cool to just talk to people. It's like have a real conversation with
Oh, yeah.
with a with real people. And it's like, I mean, I remember growing up. I mean, I'm gonna go into old man mode, like back when I was a boy, but but seriously, man, I mean, I grew up in the '90s, and before the internet and everything, and we were just always outside, like playing in mud, or or building something, or trying to make something out of nothing, and that's really what I believe the American way is. It's like connecting with your friends, and having a mission to build something bigger than yourself, and I think that's what a lot of bears have in common, is we want to work towards creating and making their own food, and like being self-sufficient is such. I really, I mean, I'm not there yet, but I want to be there, and it's like that's a goal, to better every aspect of our life, while we're here. I think is a great goal to have,
Oh yeah.
and to pass that around. I mean, to pass that around to the next generation, and like use the powers that we have, because really it's the best of times if you want it to be. It's like you have to want it though. You can, if you want to just like, if you just want to, lay around and squirt all day, you're not going to have a good experience, but in this realm. But if you're really, if you're really doing things to help people, and put a smile on other people's face, I feel like that's you're gonna feel good from that, and I mean, it's just as simple as that. It's like you should want to do that anyway, is like help somebody else out.
Yeah. Well said. All right. Well, we've been going for about an hour, it looks like. So we'll probably wrap it up soon. And is there anything else you wanted to talk about or get in before we X out this episode?
Well, I just hope you have a great New Year, man, and I appreciate you having me on, man. I always have a good time, and I'm glad to have a friend like you, man.
Yeah, man. I'm really glad you decided to hit me up and come on. I'm really excited to have you come and play a song for us, especially, well, like a song and a half, basically. And then I'm definitely looking forward to that video. So when it comes out, send me the link and I'll put it in the description to this video. So after New Year's, if you're watching this, you can go in the bottom and click on the link and watch Quinton's new video. I'm pretty excited about it.
Now, how do I do that? How do I do the link thing?
Just send me the link on Instagram and I'll put it in the video.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, when it comes out for your video, just send it to me and we'll check it out. So where can people find you?
I'm on YouTube. Quinton Ferrell and the Awoken is my YouTube page, and you can get me Hobbit Bear Ferrell on Instagram. I'm the Hobbit Bear on Bear Target Times, and Ferrell Quinton on Facebook.
All right, awesome. Let's see. We got Iowa Walks in the chat and 7-Eleven. Lucas, what's up, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in to watch the show. Unfortunately, we're about to end it, but thank you guys anyway. Well, Iowa Walks is in here for a while, but yeah, man, thank you. And if you want to find me, everybody, go to morelawsmoreproblems.com. I'll have the links below here to check out all my stuff, and go check out Quinton's album and the video that's coming out soon, and support what you love if you don't want it to go away, everybody. Well, everybody, happy New Year from the Brandon Bonanza Show, and we will see you next year. Haha, I wanted to use that joke. Oh no, I'm on the wrong page. I might not be able to stop the stream. No, here it is. Okay. All right, guys. See you later. Awesome.